Hi guys, and welcome to an update of the Retro Core Game Room. As requested, here it is. This is filmed in May 2019. So let's get on with it, and it's going to be a pretty in-depth view of the room featuring all the machines, how they're connected, and so on. So let's take a look. Okay, so first off, let's take a look at the actual consoles. Now this is the main console area, and as you can see, we've got quite a few machines set up on there, and everything that appears on the monitor on the TV there also appears on the PC screen over there. So everything is connected to everything else. So as you can probably guess, the cabling situation is a mess. Okay, let's get straight into the consoles. We'll take a look at those first. Okay, so first off, we have a Sega Master System, Japanese spec, that's connected to the TV via RGB. Under that, we have an Xbox 360 Elite, that's a black edition, and an FM Towns. The FM Towns is connected via RGB. The Xbox 360 is connected via HDMI. Over here we have a JVC branded Wonder Mega. That's connected to the TV via S-Video. Unfortunately, that's the best video output a Wonder Mega can do without modding it. But even though it's S-Video, you can see it looks fairly good. There's a little bit of color banding on the white, can you see that? But VFS video, not bad at all. Next up, we've got the Neo Geo Consoleized MVS, connected via RGB. Next to that, we've got the Sega Saturn, connected via RGB. And next to that, we've got the PC Engine Core Graphics with a CD-ROM interface, again connected via RGB. In fact, let's take a look at this. It looks pretty good. While I'm here, I'll turn down the sound to the Wonder Mega. Look at that, lovely. The unit is 100% fully functional, and as you can see, the CD-ROM drive is pure white, no yellowing on that whatsoever. And we've got a couple of different cards here. We've got the arcade card in the machine at the moment. We've got a system card, and we've got a PC Engine EverDrive. Good stuff. Okay. And next to that, we've got the Sega Dreamcast. Now this Dreamcast actually recently died. The GD-ROM drive in it basically gave up, so the GD-ROM drive in this has been replaced with, yes, a GD-EMU. And coming out of the back of that Dreamcast is an HDMI box by the Burhow brothers. I think that's how you pronounce their name. And over there we have a charging dock for the Xbox One controllers. Okay, moving down to the lower shelf, we can see over here we have a Mega SG, and next to that we've got a zero lag HDMI switch box, and they're both sitting on a Pioneer Blu-ray player. Next to the Blu-ray player we've got an analog NT, or Super NT I should say. And we've got a Wii next to that. Now the Blu-ray player, the Mega SG and the analog NT, Super NT, are all connected via HDMI, while the Wii is connected via D-Sub, which is a Japanese only standard, and basically it is component video. Okay, next to that we've got the Xbox One X, and that's got a 3TB portable hard drive on top of it. And over here we've got a white PlayStation 2 Slim. Very nice. That is connected to the TV via, that's also connected via D terminal or D sub. In other words, component video. And all those machines you saw are connected to this Onkyo amp right here. So this is a 7.1 DTS True HD Dolby Stereo amp. Good for your movies and games. Alright, now let's look underneath where it's really dusty. Okay, just gotta get down here. Okay, so here we have the Framemeister, and basically all the consoles go into this. And over here we have an audio switch box, this one here. Okay, now what that is used for is changing the audio from the FM Towns and the Wonder Mega and the PC Engine CD-ROM system. Oh, and the Neo Geo as well, because they all use the audio through these phono jacks here. And the Framemeister only has one set of phono jacks on the front of it. So the audio for those systems goes into this switch box, and then that switch box goes into the Framemeister. And you can just change the systems by pressing the buttons here. And right under here is where all the SCART switches are connected, and you can't see them at all. So just let me go and get the phone so we can put the light on. Okay, we've got the phone here, so we've got some light. And as you can see, it's extremely dusty in there. Now that is a G-SCART switch box, and that was one of the first ones to be made, and it's Japanese spec. It's actually JP21 RGB spec, not normal SCART RGB. So I'm a very proud owner of that. I'm very happy to have that one. And at the far back over there, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a little square box hanging down in the nest of wires. That is actually an optical audio switch box, and there's a few things going into that, such as the PlayStation 2, and I believe the Blu-ray player is also connected to that as well as a few other things. Now also in this unit we have a couple of drawers, and in the drawers are where I keep the controllers. As you can see, a lot of different game controllers in there, and also over here. That's an FM Towns game controller there. And underneath you can see there's a Wii classic pad. And my favourite controller for the Super Nintendo, the Hori pad. And this is a knockoff third-party Sega Mega Drive controller. Now the pad itself is pretty awful, but what you'll notice is this is an official 6-button controller, but it's got a white cable. What I do is I take the cables from this and use them on these official controllers, because the Japanese official controllers have really short cables. Okay, oh, and this is a D-terminal cable, just in case you're wondering what a D-terminal cable looks like. These are only used on Japanese TVs, and yeah, as I said, it's basically a component video connector. It does up to 1080p or 1080i. Okay, and in the last drawer we've got a couple of cartridges, such as action replays, memory cards, and RAM expansions, and so on. Alright, not really connected to games, but they're all my records you can see there. Mostly stuff from the 80s. And I forgot all about this. This is a sample version of Night Trap for the Mega CD. Quite an oddity that is. Okay, let's take a look over here. Right, not really connected to gaming, but I might as well show you it since it's in the gaming room. This is my music system. It's an Onkyo system, which is pretty good, very heavy. And I have a Sony Turntable here, front-loading Sony Turntable, which is really cool. Check this out. Oh yeah, I'll never get tired of that. It's quartz locked and it's linear tracking, so it takes good care of your records. It's lovely. And in here we've got the Xbox 360 games. Sorry, Xbox One games I should say. So they're my Xbox One games. I have had more in the past, but I tend just to sell these on. A couple of random DVDs down there as well. And on this side are the Blu-rays. So we've got some good titles there and some not so good titles. Some 4K movies as well. Alright, now one thing I did forget to point out before is this room has 2 PCs in it. Now you may have saw it. There it is. That machine down there is the main PC which is used to run the emulation, which is used quite often for Battle of the Ports. That is running an i7 core. It's got 6 gigabytes of memory, and it's got an NVIDIA graphics card in it. I can't remember what graphics card it's got in now, but it's good enough to run games like Witcher 3 to the same level as a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360. Alright, and over here is the main workhorse PC. So this machine here is what encodes all the videos I make and does all my music editing and so on. In fact, that stereo system there is also connected to that PC. And next to that we have the printer and a couple of floppy disks. Floppy disks will be used for the FM towns. Alright, so there you have it. That is most of the hardware in the games room. Got an external sound blaster thing there. An Alexa. Oh, no, better not say anything, it switched itself on. And there's an awful lot of things in this room which use remote controls. So I basically got rid of all the remotes and I use this to control pretty much everything. This is a Logitech Harmony, I think they're called. So you can see we got the Toshiba there, the Onkyo amp, the Framemeister Xbox One, Pioneer Blu-ray, this Onkyo stereo, Onkyo CD player, the LED lights, HDMI switch box, and the Toslink AV switch, all controlled by this one device. Even the LED lights. So yeah, if I just press the on button here, you'll see the LED lights switch on. There you go. So that gives some good lighting for nighttime gaming or watching movies. Switch them off. Oops, that's not the off button. There you go. Alright, so where are most of the games kept? Well, let's take a look around. That's the main white table. You see a lot of the Chinese machines reviewed on. Got another Dreamcast there. This is the Dreamcast I use for when I want to play games on GD-ROM. And down here, this is going to go into storage. This is the original Mega Drive I used to use. That was also connected via RGB. And if we look in this cupboard here, you'll find an original Super Famicom, and it's not yellowed either. That's also connected via RGB. Alright, so let's take a look. Now this unit is covered by curtain so the games don't get sun faded. So on the top of the shelf we've got some audio CDs, nothing to do with gaming. And then next to that we've got the Xbox 360 games. This is where I keep all my Xbox 360 games. And below that we've got some random stuff. And some junk or the stuff from China. Okay, let's take a look in the cupboard. This is where all the arcade, where all the good games are kept. Alright. So up on the top we've got the Super Famicom games. These are all in protective cases. We've got some pretty good and quite rare games in here as well. There's Kiki Kai Kai. It's a lovely game. And a very popular one here. This is the Fireman. All these games are in mint condition, and as you can see, they actually go back as well. There's more games there. As you can see, there's Ackley and Batman. So that's some good stuff if I can get it back in. Fortunately, I don't remember where I got the box protectors from. Okay, and moving down a bit, you can see we've got the PlayStation games. Oh, and we've also got another Super Famicom game. This game here is the one that you saw in the Super NT. This is a repro. Well, not a repro, it's a reprint. It's an officially licensed reprint. And in here, it used to be a Neo Geo multi-cartridge, but now it's my Neo Geo SD, the SD card reader for the Neo Geo. And I've got King of Fighters 99 card there. I've got another MVS card somewhere. But anyway, yeah, you can see all the PlayStation 2 games are there. And going a bit lower, we get onto the Sega Mega Drive stuff. And also hiding in the corner of the Sega Mega Drive games are a couple of GameCube games. What have we got here? So there we got F-Zero, GX, and Shikigami no Shiro 2, which first appeared on the Sega Dreamcast. Pretty good shooter. We've also got a couple of Sega SG games here, SG 1000 games. Alright, and next to that we have an original, not original, one of the DS Lite consoles and an SD card for that. Alright, so let's keep going down. We got more stuff, more Mega Drive stuff. As you can tell, Mega Drive is one of my favourite consoles. I've got a lot of games for it. Alright. And underneath all this junk down here, we've got a set of Virtual On twin sticks. You can use them on the Saturn or the Sega Dreamcast with the converter. Now in this little box down here, we have every single Saturn Flash, Japanese Saturn Flash disc made. That's the complete collection in there. Alright, now let's take a look a bit further up the cupboard. They're my joysticks for various consoles. And if we can move this out the way, oh, you can't really see it. Up there is a box set for Virtual On 4 for the Xbox 360. Let me just get that out. Ooh, it's very high up. Don't even know if I can reach it. Alright. So what we get inside are these little Virtual On balls. Little bouncy balls. And we get 6 CDs full of music from all the Virtual On games. That's actually disc number 6. And below that, we have an art book with lots of text. This is where the game's normally stored, but the game is now on the shelf with the other 360 games. And here's the art book. So let's take a quick look through that. As you can see, there is an awful lot of text in there. So it's a lot more informative than, you know, the typical art books which you get. It tells you all about the games, the machines that were on, the designs, and so on. Pretty impressive. Okay, here we go. Okay, there you can see the 2 boxes for the analog consoles. And we'll start off here with the Sega Saturn games. A couple of PlayStation games on there too. Now these Sega Saturn games here, these are ones that came in big thick boxes, but unfortunately the boxes were scratched or damaged, so they need replacing. The games themselves are in perfect condition. And here are all the Sega Saturn games that I own. So we've got some expensive ones, some cheap ones. Some rare ones. A very big collection indeed. And you'll notice most of them have the spine cards as well. All the way down there. I really do need to clean this up. And next to that we've got the Sega Dreamcast. This Soul Calibur there, that's what killed my GD-ROM drive. Thank you, Soul Calibur. And under that we've got the Dreamcast Express games, which I believe they were sent to me from Sega once you join Dreamcast Direct or whatever it was called back in the day. So I don't own as many Dreamcast games as I used to. I did sell a lot of them on, which I regret now. I used to have pretty much a complete Japanese collection at one point. But a lot of the ones I have are complete in box with spine cards and so on. Okay, and next to that we've got the Mega CD games. I really do like the Mega CD games. Again, we've got some good ones and some cheap ones. Let's see what we got here. There's Ranma. It's a pretty nice game. Well, no it isn't, is it? What I'm saying is a pretty nice game. It's awful. Okay, here's Robo Elise, as it's known in English. Denon Elise. That's a good game. Good shooter. Yeah, so some good Mega CD games there. And some stinkers as well. Okay, and going down, we come to the PC Engine CD-ROM games. Again, some good games and some stinkers. That's a stinker, isn't it? Only joking. That's one of the good ones. Oh, in you go. So yeah, so PC Engine CD-ROM and more Mega CD games. And I'm also got quite a few PlayStation games, which is quite strange considering a lot of people say I hate the PlayStation. If I hated it, why would I have this many PlayStation games? Alright. Okay, so that is the games room in full. It's a very small room, as you can see, but there's a lot packed into it. But there are more games around in this house, so let's go and take a look. So here we are in the bedroom, and if I open up the closet door, not only will you see a lot of suits and stuff, but up at the top we've got more gaming items. Sega Saturn stuff there. At the back there is a Verbal Geos box set. The PC Engine CD-ROM box up there. There's the camera's box. An Xbox One game which I was sent and never asked for, and I don't want it. I've never played it. It's one of those story type games. Yeah, loads of stuff up here. It's a complete and utter mess. It's disgusting. Mind you, this probably hasn't been changed since the last gaming video. And if we look down here, not only do we have Guitar Hero's guitar, but we've got quite a rare item. That is an original Xbox Pioneer wireless headphone receiver. And it does work as well. And looking down here, we've got a box of PlayStation games. Got Sega Rally in there too. And some spare PlayStation boxes as well. Oh, and what's this? Sega Dreamcast mouse, keyboard, and the box for Guitar Heroes. There's also a Sega Saturn and original Mega Drive box down here somewhere. Let's have a look. Over we go. There's the Mega Drive box. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. There's a Saturn. Whoa, what's that? A Sega Saturn keyboard as well. Nice. Okay, and I've just knocked everything over. Okay. Well, there is one more thing, gaming related, which is up there in the loft. Let's go and see what it is. Oh, this is tricky to take down with one hand. Okay, let's go and take a look. Lights on. Now normally we just keep clothes and stuff up here, but there is one gaming item. And it's not that. That's actually a 21 head VHS recorder. 21 heads. Amazing. Ow. Right, the thing I want to show you is actually down there in that bag. Alright, let's get it out. Let's put the camera down here. So you may already be able to guess what it is. Whoops. This is an Hitachi Saturn. And it's in 100% perfect condition. It's mint. And yes, it does include the Hitachi video CD card as well. Nice. So from the loft of the Retro Core house, I hope you enjoyed this look at an updated video of the Retro Core game room. Okay, so yes, hopefully the video is not too shaky because that camera is very heavy. Alright, until next time, take it easy and keep on gaming.